Good morning, guys. How's everyone doing? Welcome back to the channel, and thank you for tuning in to yet another video. So 2022 is coming to an end, and 2023 is just right around the corner. So I wanted to take this opportunity today to kind of look back at the year, recap everything that's happened, just so that way one day we can look back and just see how crazy 2022 was as a year. So to start things off, things were pretty slow at the beginning of this year. I didn't upload a lot of content on my YouTube channel, and there wasn't much going on my social media outlets like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I actually didn't even upload my first video until January 30th. That's when I uploaded my very first wash and talk. That's more of a real-time video as I'm washing the vehicle, and it allows me the opportunity to talk to you guys, let you guys know a lot of things that are going on, and I can just give you guys a lot more information than I can in these shorter format videos. That video did pretty good, and I do want to do a lot more of those, but it was in that video that I broke the news that I was selling my beloved 2019 Dodge Challenger SXT. I'm sure it caught a lot of you by surprise, but it was something that I was working on behind the scenes. And the reason why I was selling that vehicle is because in December of last year, December 29th, I actually placed my order for my new vehicle. Now, that new vehicle was not my 2022 Scat Pack. It was actually a 2022 Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat Red Eye Wide Body Jailbreak. I floated the idea of keeping both vehicles. I think that would have been really cool. The Hellcat, an amazing vehicle, nobody can deny that. And then it would have been cool to keep the SXT. It's the vehicle that kind of got me going here on YouTube, and it was actually videos on that vehicle that probably a lot of you guys found. So I spent a lot of time debating if I wanted to keep the SXT and the Hellcat at the same time, and I kind of decided it wouldn't have been best because one vehicle would inevitably get way more attention than the other. Whether that's I'm putting a lot more money into the Hellcat because I want to mod it up, I want to make it cool, and then the SXT gets neglected, or I still continue trying to do a lot of videos on the SXT, and then the Hellcat's kind of getting neglected. So I posted the SXT for sale, and I wasn't planning on it selling very quickly, but exactly just the opposite happened, and it sold pretty quick. And ironically enough, I ended up selling the SXT and the Hellcat. Now you might be wondering, why in the world would you sell your Hellcat? Well, kind of dangerous owning those vehicles. A lot of people are getting theirs stolen. A lot of people are getting carjacked. A lot of people are getting shot and killed for their vehicles, which is completely insane. And, you know, I didn't want to run that risk. I'm riding around with my family a lot, and I didn't want to run the risk of getting carjacked, shot, and killed just so they can steal my vehicle. So I made the decision to sell that vehicle, and it was in June of 2022, this year, that I placed my order for my 2022 Dodge Challenger Scat Pack Wide Body. So it was mid-June when I placed this order, and I went all out on this vehicle. This vehicle is fully optioned. Everything you can get, you could. The only thing I didn't option was the factory navigation. And then the wait began. Not too long after that, I believe it was a week, maybe a week and a half later, the Hellcat arrived at the dealership. So now it was time to go take delivery of it. Now, when I say take delivery, I don't mean take delivery in the traditional sense. It was definitely more business focused. I went up there and we signed all the paperwork so that way I could take ownership of the vehicle, and then I immediately sold it right back to him. I had been in communication with the general manager for quite some time as we worked out the numbers for me selling it back to him. Now, I'm not going to say any numbers just because for whoever did buy the Hellcat or anybody that's out there looking to buy one or sell one, I don't want you to use this as a guide, but I did make a profit off the sale. So at that point, the Hellcat was sold, and now it was time to wait for the Scat. Now, I was kind of worried because it took a ridiculously long time for the Hellcat to arrive between part shortages, and I can only assume that COVID still had something to play in it, but it took a long time for the Hellcat to arrive. So since I placed the order for the Scat Pack in June, I was thinking it was going to be another, who knows, 6 to 8 months before it arrives. To my surprise, 2 months later, August 3rd, 2022, my Scat Pack arrived at the dealership, ready to take delivery. My salesman, Sergio, was really cool. He actually sent me this photo whenever the Scat Pack arrived. And it was like first thing in the morning. I was at work, so now all I wanted to do was leave, go get the vehicle. I was so freaking happy. I know to some of you guys, the hype that I had around this vehicle might not have been justified, but you know, I had the V6 and you know, I was rocking and rolling with that thing, and I really enjoyed it. Now, the one thing that was missing was the V8. So now I had bought my Scat Pack. I didn't finance it. I bought it cash, and I was able to order it, and I was able to get every option that I wanted. I didn't cheap out on this thing. I got the carbon fiber, I got the red Alcantara seats, I got the sunroof, got the Harman Kardon, you know, we got the suede headliner and everything. This is an amazing vehicle. This is everything I've ever wanted in a vehicle, and the Dodge Challenger has always been a vehicle I've really liked. So to finally take delivery of this vehicle was nothing short of amazing. So now that I've taken delivery of the vehicle, and after being out of the game for several months, it was time to get to work. I immediately started filming, and I actually filmed my very first POV video. It was the second video of the Scat Pack that I uploaded. I filmed my very first drive home, and that was pretty cool. I bought a GoPro. I bought the head mount specifically so I could do those videos, and I want to do a lot more of them. Then we got to work on the modifications. So the very first modification that I did to the Scat Pack was actually getting the windows tinted. Now, with this being my dream vehicle, and just with how much I love this thing, I did not want to cheap out. Now, the funny thing is that there's just not a lot of information out there, and that's a change that I'm trying to make. I want to provide this information to you guys. I want to put this information out there in the world. So not all window tint is the same. There are crappy, low quality tints, and then there are very high quality, high-end window tint. So I did hours of research, and after doing so, I concluded that the XPEL Prime XR Plus window tint was the film I wanted to go with. It's a super high-end film, really high performance film, so I knew that is what I wanted. Now the issue is, with it being such a high-end film, it's a very expensive film. Now, I live in a small town here in South Texas, and finding a place that installs this film was rather difficult. Now, where I live, there's a bunch of normal people that are driving Buicks and Hondas. You get your lifted diesel trucks out here. So a lot of these people don't really care about these kind of things. So to a normal person, shelling out $700-800 for window tint, it wouldn't happen with them. That is absolutely crazy. They would never do that. They just want a dark tint for as cheap as possible. Me, I didn't want to settle for that, so I did my time. I did my research. I was looking around. I was emailing shops. I was talking to shops, trying to find somebody that can install this film, and I wanted to find a very good, reputable shop to do so. Now, after probably weeks of research, I found Far Beyond Tint in Corpus Christi, Texas. They installed the film, and they work on a lot of nice vehicles, a lot of higher end vehicles. So I knew that they were the shop that I could trust to do the work. So I reached out to them, and they were nice enough to oblige and allow me to film there. So we made the 2-hour drive down to Corpus Christi, Texas, and we had the window film installed, and I could not be happier with it. I got all the windows tinted. I even got the full windshield tinted, something that I've never done before, but with this vehicle having the leather dash, I knew I needed that protection, so I'm happy I did so. Now, next up was the exhaust. Now, I'm very happy with the route that I went. I have no regrets. I had the Borla Attack catback exhaust installed on the Scat Pack. I know a lot of people love to go the routes of muffler deletes, and some people like to even try to straight pipe it. They'll take the cats out, they'll take the resonators out, but I knew right from the beginning I did not want to do that. Reason number one, I don't know if Dodge changed anything with the exhaust between like the 2016 Scat Packs and now, but for some reason the muffler deletes to me at least, just don't sound the same. Not only that, but I wanted to run quad tips, so I'd have to do something with the resonators, and I knew I didn't want to take those out. So very quickly I realized I didn't want to do that. And not only that, but I wanted to do this thing right. So after countless hours of researching exhausts on the forums and on YouTube, I decided that the Borla Attack was the one that I wanted. So I bought it. I bought the quad tips and waited for it to arrive. It got here, and we took it to the 183 muffler shop in Lockhart, Texas, the same shop that the SXT went to, and we had it installed. And boy, oh boy, is it a great exhaust system. I would highly recommend it. Yeah, it's more expensive than a muffler delete, but you get what you pay for. It is a performance exhaust. It sounds amazing. Not too long after that, I did my very first oil change on the Scat Pack. I've always preferred to do the oil changes myself. You can use what you want to use rather than taking it to a shop and they use just whatever they have. You don't really have a say in it. And it just feels good to work on your own car, and you know that the work is getting done right. After that, I installed my Billick Technologies oil catch can on the Scat. Super easy install, very straightforward. It could take you no longer than 5-10 minutes. And some people may argue that it's not needed for the motor. Some people may argue that it is, but it's better safe than sorry, and it will definitely help prolong the life of the vehicle. Then we debadged the front of the vehicle. I removed the RT badge and I removed the Challenger script badge. So now the front end looks super clean. Then right after that, I went and saw my friend Levante. I haven't seen him in a long time, so we met up with him and I showed him the Scat Pack and we took him for a ride, and I think he enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
We're gonna jump back. Now, unfortunately, it was after that I had my first issue with the Scat. So I had an issue with the brakes. It was the passenger side front brake pads. Supposedly, they separated and it caused a lot of damage to the rotor. So I took it to the dealership and they were very nice about it. And they did their investigation into it. They determined that it was the brake pads. The rotors were messed up, so I'd have to get new ones. Thankfully, under warranty, they repaired it at no cost to me. As well as there's a recall on the vehicle for the TPM sensors. They looked into it, they tested them, and all mine were fine, so that is good. The parts for the brakes were back ordered, so I was thinking the worst. The service director told me it could take 2 to 3 months to get them, but thankfully, 7 days later, I got the Scat back. So in short, I think 2022 was a very crazy year. I started this year with my SXT. In the back of my mind, I knew that I had the Hellcat on order. And then I sold the SXT, ended up selling the Hellcat, and now I have a Scat Pack, one that I personally ordered, one that is very personal to me, and I absolutely love this thing. So going into 2023, all I can say is that I hope that you guys stay tuned, because I have a lot of really cool, really crazy things planned. I have a lot of great modifications that's going to be going on this car. I have a lot of very helpful, informative videos I'm going to be sharing with you guys. So I just really hope that you guys stay tuned for that. So yeah, that's a wrap. This will actually be my final video for this year. I'm going to leave it off here so I can enjoy the holidays with friends and family. And we will pick it back up in January. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to let me know with a big thumbs up. Also, I hope that you guys have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, and Happy Holidays to everyone out there watching this. So I will see you guys in January of 2023. Until then, take care and be safe. Peace.